Welcome back to another video. It is your girl Diamond B Frazier. I had to announce myself because your girl got a few more subscribers. I'm like, wow, if you know, I have struggled so much to get out of the 400s, and now I'm in the thousands and we're on our way to 2,000. I couldn't have been more grateful, more appreciative. I didn't really see this coming at all. As soon as it did, I'm very, very happy, very, very humbled, very, very grateful. What I realized is I was focusing so much on numbers and getting so frustrated on numbers, hoping I get a certain amount of views, certain amount of subscribers, certain amount of likes, certain amount of engagement. But I started to lose sight of what the actual message is. Now, typically I do talk about decent things, stuff that matters, stuff that's gonna move you, or stuff that's just a reminder or a check-in, and I feel like that's more important than the numbers. Now, numerically, if I can reach a certain amount of people and I can change lives, or I can make people feel better, or give them some sort of hope or a boost, then boom, that's cool. But in regards to popularity, notoriety, influence, these worldly things, I'm good. I'm good off that. Look at me using the word worldly because your girl has been in church. This is the second week. And I didn't feel like, all right, I did say I was going to go to church, so let me go this time. I actually felt good going. It was something I was looking forward to. And this time, it was a new speaker, and they weren't physically in our presence. They were at another location, which wasn't too far away, forgive me. But we did watch them on the screen, but it still had that impact. And like I said, being there with like-minded individuals, feeling their presence, their energy, it felt really, really good. I'm an introvert, but in church, I forced myself out of it. So I'll sing the songs, I'll clap, I'll stand up, and I really feel it. And today, I actually did tear up. Like, I felt it. I don't want to not do the story justice, but it's just real quick. So basically, the pastor was speaking about how he had dyslexia, ADHD, wasn't really doing good in school. You wouldn't look at him and be like, yeah, he's going somewhere. He was discouraged. Most people had a story like they were told, you ain't going to be nothing in life, blah, blah, blah. So he applied for Bible school, and he actually got denied, but he didn't know he got denied. He went into church, became a drummer, moved from drummer to leading prayer, and ended up going to school. So about a year or so, like after being in school, he come back home, his mom let him know, hey, you weren't accepted right away. You actually were denied. And then the acceptance letters was the second time. He's like, what's going on? Come to find out, she drove 3 hours away to speak to the president, speak highly on behalf of her son, let them know it's not the grades, his behavior or whatever. He has a higher purpose and you need to accept him. And boom, the acceptance letter came. So his mom intercepted that negativity, and it was like, nah, that's not the final answer I'm taking. And I might be straying away from what the actual message was, but it just means the world to me to see a parent speak life into their child. Mothers are the first teacher. Parents have so much influence on their child. They are the first role model. Even if they do start hanging out with their friends and picking up on some of their friends' mannerisms and things like that, but your parent, that those people in the household are going to have more of a major impact. So that really meant a lot to me. I started to think about my higher purpose in recent time. I enjoy making videos. I love doing interviews. I love talking. I do tell myself I would love to be a motivational speaker, but sometimes what I've experienced before is you get so much life spoke into you at this event and you feel so pumped, and then the next day it all goes away. And I don't want to say it's the business of scamming, because some people do just need to hear that one time and then move forward. But for me, I'm into transformation. I want to speak life into people and then help them follow through to see something better. So before I did go to church this week, I was just figuring out, like, how can I be more involved in the world? How can I make more of an impact? It's one thing to be like, oh, I pray for so-and-so, which prayer is a power. I pray for so-and-so, or I hope this gets better, or dang, I'm so sorry to hear that. But it's like, what are you actually doing to make some sort of difference, to make a change at all? So on my way to work, I want to say last week, on my way to work, I saw a homeless guy that I normally always see. He got sunglasses, his coat, jeans, a hat. And I think maybe sometimes homeless people dress that way because they don't have anywhere to put their stuff, so they wear everything. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't have any money. You know, in this day and age, a lot of us don't keep cash, and it's something that I personally know that I need to be better at. Not necessarily, you just never know, but cash is really, it's important to have. So I'm at the stoplight, you know, nobody's putting their window down to even speak to this person, acknowledge them at all. And sometimes I battle with that. Do I not roll down my window? Because if I do, then I'm getting their hopes up that I'm about to give them something. Or should I just say, forget that and roll the window down, even if I don't have anything, just to say hi, greet the person, how you doing? Because these are still human beings that are putting themselves out there in a very vulnerable situation to be asking for money. Now, people say, oh, you know, there are scammers out here and people, I get that. But what is your intention? How do you feel about it? What was your reasoning behind it? So yes, I can go give money to somebody that, you know, next thing you know, they walking in their car or got their cell phone or whatever. But I know my heart and I know why I did that. So I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So I'm not going to be upset, you know, if you live in this luxury life and like, oh my gosh, I got bamboozled. I knew what my heart was and I know why I did that. I had good intentions. So I'm good. I'm good with God and I believe in karma. So anyway, my job had free food, I believe the day before, and I went and I grabbed a water and I grabbed the apple juice. If you know me, all I drink is water. I don't like juice. I don't like fruity stuff. I will drink water all day long. That is my first, second, third, fourth, fifth pick. If it's just nothing else and I'm like super thirsty, then I'm going to get me something. So I had this apple juice and I had my water. The water done same day, but I had the apple juice still in my purse. And so I'm sitting at the lights a little bit longer than normal. And I see the guy like coming up. Nobody said anything to him. So I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And I was like, oh my gosh, I got the apple juice. So unopened, pull the apple juice. I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, I have apple juice. I don't have any money, but I have apple juice. The guy grabs my arm and like, he has a mask on and he like kisses my arm through his mask. He said, God bless you, sister. Thank you. And for me, it's not always about money. It's just, it could just be the thought behind it. Like, no, I don't think people ever think like, dang, maybe they were sitting, or some people probably do, but they're sitting there all day, like thirsty, hungry. You don't know their situation at all. But the fact that he's consistently at the same place all the time, it's a reason why he's there. So, and the fact that he was so grateful and so appreciative over something to drink, it really struck something in me. And I'm like, wow, I would want to be able to give that smile to a lot more people. And I feel like we do have programs for lower income housing, or lower income families, forgive me. We have housing and programs and stuff like that, which I do feel like we still need to keep funding and still need to help. But I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge homeless people as much as we should, because it's like, oh, they're already at rock bottom. Like, what's the worst going to happen? Let's help people to actually still have a chance. And I feel like a lot of people come out to help the homeless when Christmas comes, Thanksgiving comes, things like that. But it's like, but there's 365 days in a year. There's more than just a holiday to assist. And so even if it is good conversation, just saying hi, acknowledge a person, making them feel good, writing them a letter, you know, something. So for me, I was like, well, what can I do more? So yes, I started looking up different types of places to volunteer. You can give money all the time, but time is something you can't get back. So to actually give that to somebody, I feel like is more meaningful than something monetary. So for me, it was like, I can work at a nursing home, a homeless shelter, animal shelter, park cleanup, food banks. Like, there's so many different places that we can get involved. And for me, I'm like, I gotta do this. Like, I want to get my friends on board. I want people to really enjoy and just be a part of this. And today I was just thinking about the fact that I really was in a position where I could have died multiple times. When I was younger, the TV fell close to my femur, I believe, which is one of the main arteries, bones. Forgive me. But as an adult, I was driving my car, and it was like a split where you can get up on the ramp and maybe go down 495, I think, is what the 2 lanes. Or you can go straight like to the streetway. I used to be a speeder. Now, you ride with me now, you be like, oh my gosh, you used to speed since when? Like, I'm a slower driver. So I'm speeding and I'm going straight, and I'm like, oh no, I want to turn this way to go down 95. I think that might be the better option. My car spun in circles. And I tell you, I wasn't even scared. I wasn't panicking. I didn't do anything. I believe I took my foot. Oh, I think I took my foot off the gas and I just held onto the steering wheel and I said, God, if it's my time to go, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go ahead and go, and I appreciate my time. I was so calm. And so the airbag didn't come out. I didn't hit another car. I actually hit a sign. And then some people had stopped over to assist me and was like, hey, we saw what happened. Are you okay? You good? And it was like, you might, if you are in a position to still drive, you might want to go ahead and make it home so that the police don't come and you don't have to get charged, or I don't know, whatever fees. I was young. I don't know. So I ended up going, and I thought about this story today. I ended up going home. It was like this big bubble on the outside of my tire. So if it got popped, that would have been it. And that could have been really dangerous. And I'm just so grateful. But in that moment, and even today, it just reverted back to, it's a reason why I'm still here. I have a higher purpose. And so I love making videos. I love helping. I love teaching. And I think that sometimes I get a little frustrated because I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I would want to be on a bigger scale so I can help more people. I'm just really in a mentally great space. I can't help the world financially. My words might not resonate with everybody, but if it's just somebody, like, it's just like, bruh, like, I just want to help. So that felt really good. One thing that I did, I took notes, y'all. I'll be taking notes. But one thing that the pastor did say is that we give more praise to man than we do God. And the way he kind of led with it, he was like, oh, who's out here a Ravens fan? It was kind of quiet because I don't think really people was Ravens fans that was there. And he was like, well, who's ever cheered for a football game or a basketball game? And everybody's like, woo, like I did. And so I got a visual imagery. He said, we cheer or praise man so much and we don't give that same praise to God. And so you'll be rooting for your team. You emotionally invested, you yelling, you screaming. Or when you go to a concert of your favorite artist or singer or rapper or whatever, you're singing the lyrics. You just outside, out there just happy. Even Drake dropped a new album, Kanye, J. Cole, whatever. Everybody's promoting their stuff, letting people know how much they love the song, how much they enjoyed it, how they admire them. Oh, I can quote this and I can quote that. And we don't give that same praise to God. And so, growing up, it was, you can't talk about religion, politics, or I think finances. And it's like, why can't we talk about religion? I'm not very religious. I'm going to remind you, I'm very spiritual. But why do I have to be quiet about my love for God? Why do I have to feel ashamed, or I can't say this because I'm going to offend somebody? But we can have a battle about what football team you like more. But you can't just outwardly have your love for God. Like, I've even found myself referring to God as the Most High and not actually giving God an actual name. So it's just, for me, I got to make sure I'm always living in my faith. And another thing that the pastor has said today is that people are so quick to talk about what they don't stand for, what they not gonna go for, what they don't like. So, police brutality or, corrupt government, will be quick to be like, I don't mess with the government. I don't mess with the vaccines. I don't mess with, police brutality. But it's like, what do you stand for? Why are we not so loud about the things that we believe in and things that we stand for, but we're so quick to speak on what we're not for? Even with generational curses, I feel like a lot of us will talk about how I'm going to get my family in a financially better space. Like, I'm going to be the first millionaire in the family. That's a blessing. That's a nice achievement. Everybody's not meant to be a millionaire. I think it would be nice to have enough money to be free, to have freedom, to be able to spend time with your family, to have fun, to travel, to, make memories and things like that. So if you aspire to be a millionaire for your first, don't put too much pressure on yourself, but just it would be nice to be in a position where your family could be comfortable, where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, where you can still do things. But I'm not here to shut down your dream and tell you can't be a millionaire, because it would be nice for everybody to be a millionaire. But I feel like when we think about generational curses, a lot of us think about finances, but we don't talk about the mental. We don't talk about no longer, alcoholism or smoking or like diseases or, just poor mentality. Like, how are we going to change things? So people will always say, oh, I'm nothing like my dad, or I'm nothing like my mom, or I'm not going to be like my grandfather, and so on and so forth. But it's like, okay, cool. So what are you going to be like? What are you going to show up for? Like, what do you stand for? What is your purpose? And another thing that he has spoken is, before your parents gave you a name, God gave you a purpose. So what is your purpose? Are you stepping into it? Are you living into it? Or is your likes and your interest in this thing that you're doing is for worldly praise? Like, are you good really within? And so for me, like I said, I enjoy doing interviews. I love hosting. I love being out. But I do feel like it is really important to give back to people deeper things than what sees the surface. And I have a vision that's beyond what can, what I physically see. Like I'm so far beyond mentally, and I just have so much passion and wanted to help and wanted to do better. And I started to look into how I can be a guidance counselor. And it does say you have to have your master's degree, and that's a lot of schooling. It's not even like the time with the schooling, it's just financially. But I do feel like I'm going to find a way. I'm going to pray on it and put myself in a position where I can assist the youth, where I can talk more to people, where I can speak life into them. And I just feel like I'm in a space mentally to do it. Also, I did want to share with you, if I didn't already, forgive me, because my memory is not up to par, but I want to get baptized. I'll say this again. I praise God every single day before I touch a phone, before I call anybody, before I just watch a TV show. I give thanks for literally every single thing. My speech, my eyes, my lips, my thighs, I'm loving. Wow, that is not what I meant. But like being mentally sharp, being in a position where I can go to work and, just I'm just so happy and I'm so grateful. And so I feel like baptism would solidify that. Like I'm really giving myself to God and I'm going to love God out loud. I went out to lunch with my two friends, and one of them got baptized, and I asked her, how was your life different afterwards? And it's just like, instead of being ashamed, or not necessarily ashamed, but just hiding my religion and like my love for God, like now after I baptized, I'm living in that, and I'm more happy and I'm more outward about it. And I do feel like you do got to understand that there is somebody above us, whether you believe in God or not, or whatever you believe in something. I just personally believe in God, but believe in something, believe in yourself. So I appreciate y'all listening to me talk today, and y'all have a great day.